questions?
We had a couple pickups early with the penalty on fourth down and the turnover, but after you weathered that, you feel like this was kind of the start that you wanted to see from your team?
We played like I thought we should have played, against this opponent. I think we only punted the ball one time today. We didn't throw the one pass in the second half, so we played about as well as we probably thought we could have. Was pleased. Our goal this week, coming in as a football team, was two things. We wanted to get better and we wanted to win, period. And I think we got better as a football team throughout the course of the week. I think it showed up some today on the field, and we won. That was our goal for the week: get better and win. A very simple assignment.
Let's talk about your running game a little bit, the combination between Shavers and Bolden. What did you see out of those two guys?
I think we have good running backs, and I think that Akeem looks really good out there. He's a physical runner. He has good speed. He's very, very strong. He wears well. He doesn't get tired. Ralph, I think, has been exceptional all season long so far. He's been very fast. He was an outstanding player on the field. Once again today, I really like what I saw out of our young backs. We had a chance in the second half to play Akeem Hunt some. We had Mostert back there some, and Brandon Connell was the big back, number 25, and those guys marched down the field, and I think they're outstanding prospects. We have already taken the red shirt off of those guys, so I was glad that we could go out there and give them some carries. Akeem Hunt, I think he's the one that scored. For him to get a touchdown, I thought that was important for our young guys today. We have some good backs, and we're good at running the football, so that's big for our team.
Bolden didn't see you field till the second quarter. Was that intentional? Do Shavers more carries early?
No, I didn't play Ralph in the first quarter because he didn't take care of some academic business. I had forewarned him coming into the season that if he didn't take care of certain types of academic business, it would cost him playing time. So he screwed up and it cost him a quarter.
What kind of academic business was it?
That's Ralph's. I'm just telling you guys, it's academic business he's supposed to take care of, and he didn't, so it cost him a quarter. He just screwed up twice, it cost him 2 quarters. It's a pretty simple formula.
Is that the problem things?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Bedford
Gotta
too.
be, or you won't see him out there.
Bedford also, I don't know if he's not coming until the second quarter also.
Right.
Same issue.
Similar.
Both of your quarterbacks played well today. Do you see Marv starting, and then how will you determine who to start?
No, I see Turbo starting. Caleb is our starting quarterback, and Robert is the number 2 quarterback, but he's a very good number 2 quarterback and a very talented number 2 quarterback, and we have 2 quarterbacks that we can win with, and that's exciting for this football team. Throughout the course of the season last year, we really struggled from an injury standpoint, and this is our 3rd game this season, and Caleb started his 3rd game, and there hasn't been many times over the last several months that we've had a quarterback play 3 games in a row. So I like the continuity that we have right now at the quarterback position, and we have 2 really good quarterbacks, and they'll compete, which is really important, but those guys are good enough to win with. Absolutely, both of them are. So we're in good shape.
Do you have any word yet about Gerald Gooden?
I think he hyperextended an elbow, and he's going to be fine. They held him out. It was precautionary. He probably could have played. I don't know how effective he would have been, but we held him out. We're going to need him. We got an open week. He can get healed up, so Gerald's going to be fine.
What do you learn from a team like this?
Well, our team showed up, and we played hard, and we had a chance to go out there and establish the run game and establish our passing game. I think we improved as a football team. We wanted to do better on 3rd down. It was kind of a rally cry for our defense. We didn't fare so well 3rd down last week, and I know that Southeast Missouri isn't quite the same as Rice or some of the other teams that we're going to play, but it was the game we were playing today, and I thought that we did a good job 3rd down wise. We have settled on what we think is best for us to call from a defensive standpoint. We had different ideas and some different game plans early in the season, and we experimented around a little bit, and I think we have kind of zeroed in on what we're good at defensively. So we got a lot out of today, and then we played a lot of people. It's a lot of guys work really hard and they don't get to play. So this is going to be huge. It was a win. We got better, and it'll be really good for the morale of our football team because there's a lot of guys that play really hard, and their teammates were really proud to see them go into the game. Spencer Dawson got in the game and played today. Beatty got in the game and played today, and all of his teammates were cheering for him. Higgs, we moved him. Crank got hurt early in the week, and we knew he wasn't available. We thought we might be running more power football today, so we took Higgs and moved him to fullback late in the week and taught him a couple of plays, and he got in and played a couple snaps today. At the end of the game, the reason why we didn't take a knee was we wanted those guys to keep playing because they worked hard and they needed the reps. So we got a lot of it today.
Is Higgs thing permanent, be a fullback, or do you go back?
Well, we'll wait and see what happens with Crank. But, you know, Higgs is a tough guy, and he likes to play football, and he's 250, 60 pounds. And he looked good over there throughout the course of the week in practice as a physical guy, so he can help us some. If we need a battering ram, Higgs is a good option to go to.
When you talk about the defense, did you simplify some things for them?
I think we simplified some things and then zeroed in on a couple of things. A lot of times there's little nuances that you want to add in because every defense has an Achilles heel, every offense has an Achilles heel, and we were try to necessarily hide ours, but patch ours in some ways, and we tried some different things, and sometimes you can put in too much. And so we cut back some and simplified some and zeroed in on a couple of things that we thought could help us and eliminated the rest, and I think we'll be a much better defensive football team as a result of it.
Going back to the freshman.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have Notre Dame coming up
Mhm.
very soon. Obviously, they're struggling in their own right. Are you, speaking of Achilles heels, are you looking for anything particular to attack against Notre Dame?
I haven't even given that any thought. I wanted to make sure we got ready to beat Southeast Missouri today, and our coaches will go on the road and we'll recruit. We'll practice tomorrow and meet tomorrow, and then we'll head out and we'll recruit Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then we'll all get back in Wednesday, and then the GAs and some of the coaches will stay behind and start preparing for Notre Dame. But we really won't come up with game planning and all that stuff until later on this week. Our focus has been one game at a time. That's where we're at as a football team right now. We had to get ready to beat the Southeast Missouri, and excuse me, it was really important that we felt good as a football team going into the open week. We wanted to win big, have fun, get better, and feel good this week. That's what this football team needed to do.
Getting ready to play Notre Dame. Are you glad you're finally getting that two-quarterback system that you can put in place?
Well, we don't really have a two-quarterback system. We have two quarterbacks that can play. And originally, in my mind, we had a two-quarterback system where both the quarterbacks may be on the field at the same time. We wanted to do that last year, and we got some guys hurt, and then we wanted to come in this year and use a similar plan, some, as a change-up pitch. And then next thing you know, we had Marv and Rob Henry out, and then Caleb became our quarterback. So we don't really have a two-quarterback system. We have two quarterbacks that can play, and we're going to continue playing both of those guys. I think it's really important that number two, regardless who it is ready to play, so that if something happens to number one, we don't end up in the same situation we were in last year, where we can't play well enough at quarterback to continue some momentum.
Just going back to
Go
the
ahead.
freshman running backs real quick. Mostert, just for clarification, still playing receiver, right?
Yep.
You're just kind of using him like sort of like using Davian.
Well, in some ways, but we've looked at him some throughout the course of camp, and he's really a physical guy. I don't know if you saw him run down there on that kick, and he crushed somebody on the kick. And as soon as he did, our secondary coach comes out and tells me what a great safety he's going to be. And then we put him back in the backfield, and he runs hard, and the offensive coordinator comes over and tells me, "Boy, he's got to be a great tailback," you know. So he's really a physical guy. If you look at him, he boxed. In high school, he was a power lifter in high school. He was an outstanding track athlete. You look how long his arms are, and you look at the size of his hands. He's an outstanding prospect. I'm really tickled to death with our freshman class. That was that class that everyone had an opinion on. And you look out there and you see Hunt, who was one of the top track athletes in the state of Georgia. You see Cottom out there, a 250-pound running back with feet like a halfback. Shavers is, I think, an outstanding player for us, and Mostert, an outstanding athlete for us. I really, Taylor Richards is playing some. We've got a lot of starters back, but yet those half a dozen freshmen still found a way to get on the field. So I think those guys are a really talented group. Yes, sir.
Coach, if he doesn't say you may have ran up the score today.
I don't see how they could. We threw one pass in the second half. If we want to run it up, we'd have scored another 48 points or whatever we had at the half. We'd run it up. We didn't. We opted to hand it off play after play and didn't use any timeouts in the second half. So I don't know how anybody could make that assessment.
For him, Carter doesn't get challenged very often, but he hit on the first play of the game, and that probably caused him to hesitate to go that direction again.
I would think so, but they have that big receiver. He's tall and he's athletic. He was their leading receiver last year. He's probably 6'6", and I think he had. We have 40-something, 50 receptions, I think, last year. It was his leading receiver coming back, and they have a very good quarterback. He's an outstanding player. We had too much on the line of scrimmage for them to handle, for them to really come out there and execute that option game. And their forte right now is not pitching and catching. So we thought we'd have an upper hand just from the fact that they were going to come out there and try to run the football against us, and I didn't think they could match up physically as far as running the ball.
You see better stuff in the linebackers this week? We talked to the league about one and see some.
Well, I think so. I thought last week that we didn't get it done at times on third down, and we didn't get it done at times at the linebacker position in pass defense. And we spent a lot of time on that this week, and they didn't throw the ball a whole lot today, so we weren't tested from a pass defense standpoint. But I thought we did a good job with our run keys and fits and reads, and we played a lot of people, which was huge today for us.
Danny, would it be crazy, or how confident are you in the depth at your running back position?
Very confident right now. I mean, I like what Reggie Peakrum's a good football player. I mean, he's a guy that hasn't had many carries. He's a tough guy. We opted not to play Ralph in the first quarter, and then we put Reggie out there, and he caught the ball well, and he ran hard. I like the way they're coached. I think that Coach Jackson is a tough, hard-nosed football coach, and I think all of our running backs are tough guys, and that's not always the case at that position. A lot of times you get a guy in there that was a featured ball carrier. He knows nothing about blocking or finishing runs, and our backs are tough guys. And when I hired Coach Jackson a couple of years ago, that's one of the reasons why I hired him. I thought he could make our running backs tough, and they are tough. And they're givers. You don't see one guy pouting when he's not in there. They all have to block. I like our running backs. I think we're good at running back, and we run the ball well.
You talk about the front four a little bit, the energy they brought today.
Yeah, I would think that our defensive tackles, in particular, should be a dominant position on our football team. I think that our ends are doing well, but we're down a little bit numbers-wise. We really only have 3 ends that are the guys that play in the regular rotation in the games. And then right off the bat, Gooden got hurt, so we had to hold up, with just 2 ends. I think Robert Macy and Ryan Russell played the bulk of the game. We have more depth at the D tackle spot. When you start looking at Kawan Short and Bruce Gaston and Ryan Isaacs and Brandon Taylor and Kevin Panfile, those are 5 big, strong, good bodies. And in my mind, that's the spot on our defense that we should be able to line up at and create the most havoc and control the line of scrimmage the most from that defensive tackle position. And I thought they showed up today. I thought we did a better job of lining up and knocking the front back last week, and I thought we got some carryover to this week.